Hello, everyone. This is Roman Bakamazov, and I am again together with Joe Golban. And today we're coming back to our sessions devoted to Chinese market and Wyckoff analysis. And this is session number 12 on June 22nd.
大家好，这里是罗猛博格马佐夫教授。今天我们威科夫交易研究所再次回来和中国的交易者见面。这是我们的第12次视频，今天是6月22日。
First of all, I would like to thank everybody who emailed us. All of your emails are being read, and we're really, really grateful that you send us your emails. And thank you for allowing us to have a small break. So hopefully starting from this week, you know, if we're going to have some kind of breaks where I travel, we'll inform you. But from now on, we're going to continue with our weekly sessions.
首先非常感谢大家给我们发邮件，你们的每一封邮件我们都认真的阅读了，而且我们也将近准备回复，也在我们的视频中也对大家做出一个回复。也非常感谢大家原谅我们前一段时间由于我们旅行的原因，所以说我们没有做视频。从这个礼拜开始，我们还是恢复照常每周做一次视频。
Today we're going to look only at one chart, and today's session is going to be very short. And today we're just going to follow up on our interpretation of the Wyckoff picture on the Shanghai Stock Exchange.
今天我们做一个短视频，我们只做一下上证指数，而且我们这次是对我们上次视频的一个继续来给大家讲解。在魏科夫的角度来讲解上证指数。
All right, well, let's look at this. So we could, I think the last time that we made the video, we were somewhere here in this area. Mike, right?
Yes, it's right.
Okay, so go ahead.
上次我们视频结束的时候，我们讲的就是罗蒙老师画的这个区域，我们讲到这里。
So what was important to us in our interpretation that we are having a bearish bias? We were expecting that the price was going down. One of the things that we saw, and we've talked about this area here, is this rally right here. It contains a lot of the increase of the effort. And behind this increase of the effort, which seems to be a very bullish indication, there is some supply that's coming into the market. So there is a distribution on the way up.
大家还记得上次我们的视频是5月底做的，在5月底的时候，我们当时罗猛教授做视频的时候，他就对市场比较有熊的看法。当时呢，市场其实在这个区域的时候并没有那么低，走的没有那么低。但是罗猛老师当时就认为市场是熊市的，而且市场不是那么特别好。为什么罗猛老师能够根据魏科夫的观点来判断当时的市场是熊市呢？那么罗猛老师他指了这个片段，就是上升的这个片段。这个片段来讲。大家看成交量很高，在魏科夫的这个名词来讲，我们叫做他的努力很大。在这个努力很大的时候呢，其实供应也大，也就是说庄家有可能是在这个看似很牛的这段上升中他在派发。
Also, please note that on the weekly chart, it happens right at the point of the resistance that was created in this very, very long-term trading range. And we could label this range like this, phase A right here, with the selling climax, an automatic rally. And at this point of time, this is where the price was rejected and the index was sold. So we are expecting that at the same area, at least at the minimum, there's going to be some kind of resistance for the price to continue going up and maybe even some supply will emerge. And here's this supply on the way up, and then we'll talk in a second about the supply on the way down.
大家看到这一点的时候，也要看一下周线图。这一点呢，在周线图上来讲，刚好在前期这个阻力位的水平位置。也就是如果罗蒙老师画了一个结构图的话，那么在周线图上，也就是这个长期图上来说，这里是抛售高潮，这里是自动上涨。所以说在这一点上来说，我们同样回到这个自动上涨这个区，当时这个区是机构抛售，也就是它又一次抛售，然后导致股价下跌的这么一个区。那么我们在一个同样的价位来说，我们起码来说要看到这里面有阻力。所以说呢，在看到这个成交量在这个阻力的这个阶段，在阻力上的时候，那么庄家开始抛售了。然后呢，我们这里看是庄家边拉边抛，一会儿呢罗蒙老师在讲庄家在下跌的时候也在抛售。
The next area where supply has come in was right here. We see that again, effort is continuing to increase, and therefore supply is increasing. But now, where we've seen the result to the downside in the first case decreasing as we had a rally, here result to the downside is increasing. So we're seeing some kind of synchronicity and the result. And what do we see in the picture here? The price goes down very significantly on increased supply signature and creates what we would call a change of character. And this change of character is associated with the increasing down spread, with the increasing distance of the downswing, and just generally a different character with which the price moves down. Look at the previous reactions. They don't look the same as what we see here in this area at the beginning of 2018. So we see that there is a distribution on the way down.
好，罗蒙老师讲，刚才讲这个区域的上升这个区域的时候，庄家是边拉边派发。那么再一个派发的区域或者供应的区域来讲是什么？是在这一段时间，也就是在这下跌的时间，这段时间。而在上升的拉升的这段区域里面呢，它是努力增加了，所以说这段呢也是供应量，也就是说成交量增加了，供应量就大了。那么这段它的结果呢，因为它是上升的一个波段，它的结果向下的结果其实是下降，是比较少的。你看它下降的结果是比较少的，但在下跌的这一段来说，我们说的成交量增加了，努力增加了，供应增加了，它的结果是非常大的，下跌的结果是非常大的。所以说这里面是努力增加，结果增大，努力和结果是共振的、共鸣的。相应的。那么这段来说呢，我们说它是机构在下跌的过程中进行派发，也就是它这个派发导致了什么呢？导致了一个我们说的叫做特性改变。这一段是特性改变。特性改变它包括几个，第一个，它的价差，也就是它的蜡烛图、K 线图的价差增高，大家看没有？从开盘到收盘，这个价差增大了。第二个呢，就是说它下跌的幅度、下跌的深度增加了。那么看这段下跌，2018年2月份这段下跌和前几次下跌来讲，它的幅度增加了，这就是它特性改变的，所以说我们把它标明为特性改变。
As I was telling you in the previous videos with Joe Goban, we were describing the institutional presence, and those two videos about how through the volume signature you could define where institutions and big money is present are extremely important. I think those were the videos number 9 and 10. And Mike, please correct me if I'm wrong. So in those videos, we've talked about the emergence of institutional volume signature. And if we would look at what has happened here during the period where institutions are present, then we see that we are creating the new bias from the up bias, we're going to the down bias. And if we're in the down bias and we've experienced a change of character, then we would be expecting that the price is going to go down, and we just need to look for the confirmation of the downward bias.
在前几次视频的时候，我想大家都记得，罗蒙老师讲了成交量，也就是在成交量显著增高的时候，这里面就有机构的足迹，不管它是派发也好，它是吸筹也好，都有它的足迹。那么大概罗蒙老师说他的讲的视频是视频9和视频10，他讲的是如何通过成交量来追踪机构的踪迹。那么大家看这里面从1月份2018年1月，也许是2017年12月底的时候，到2018年2月，这边成交量这个是显著的一个堆量，也就是机构在这里特别的活跃。那么特别活跃，我们刚才说了，这里面向上的波段的时候是机构边拉升边派发，在下跌的时候是机构也在派发，也就是知道了这一段时间的时候，我们知道它在派发的时候，我们就知道了，那么这个方向已经改变了，特性改变了，方向也改变了，现在的方向是向下跌这个方向。在知道了这个方向以后，我们看后面的蜡烛图的表现的时候，我们就要找确认，那么我们是否有确认的证据来证明机构是在派发呢？而且这个方向已经改变了，向下了呢？
So let's talk about the confirmation of the bearish bias. What would, in the price and the volume signature, confirm to us that we are in the bearish picture? Well, first of all, we saw that the lower low that was created on the change of character has violated the previous support. And the next rally, which comes after the selling climax, and which is the automatic rally, is by itself also a change of character. Change of character to what? To this reaction. So that suggests that we are going to be in some kind of trading range.
那么我们看在后面的表现，量价表现里面有没有说 OK 我们现在是找到确认的证据，也就是方向已经改变向下了，而且也是派发的证据。那么首先来看呢，也就是这段下跌它的距离已经超过了原来的支撑点，支撑的距离，支撑线，它就出现了底比底低的情况。第二个呢，也就是从抛售高潮这里面它有一个反弹，这个反弹呢，我们也说这个反弹对整个下跌来说它也是一个特性改变，也就是说它改变了这个快速下跌这个局面。所以说改变以后呢，我们就期望有一个交易区间的出现。
In this trading range, which has become a redistribution trading range, and we're obviously labeling this a little bit later on, but we see that the first rally comes to about 1/2 of this reaction. So there is inability to retest the buying climax highs, which is the sign of weakness.
我们看到这段反弹呢，就是经过这个快速下跌以后，它反弹的幅度是多少？是快速下跌的1/2左右。也就是说，我们把这个区间，这个交易区间出现了一个交易区间定性，后来我们把它定性为再次派发区间。那么这个反弹了1/2，这个意义是什么呢？意义就是对原来的购买高潮的一个测试，也就是看现在的需求量有多大，这个需求量能不能把股价推到原来的高度呢？没有，也就是说它的需求已经很低了，不能把股价推到上方，而只推到了1/2左右。
And then after that, we see that there is still some force to the downside that could push the price down in somewhat of the expanding manner, where we have some gaps, the one that we've seen before in the same area. So as we're experiencing some selling through the gap, we're expecting the same thing to happen again when the price comes back to this level, and then again, and then again. And what's important here to see is how does the price to the upside shows its strength. So if we're seeing that the result to the downside is increasing, we want to understand what demand is doing. So all of the next rallies after the attempts to go down are very mediocre. They are not overcoming one half of the trading range. And if this is the best rally, then the rally that follows that is very weak. And that has suggested that the price is about to go down in a much more significant way.
那我们看到这个自动上涨呢，只把价格推回到原来快速下跌的这个幅度的1/2左右。那么后来的区间，在后来的开线图里面，我们看到还有很强的力量把这个股价继续向下推，也就是大家看到这里面有一个跳空，和前期的这个跳空这点相对应，几乎在相同的位置，也就是这里面呢是大量的卖单导致了一个跳空。到这里面呢，我们同样也期待另外一个跳空，也就是促使股价迅速下跌，然后在这里面也同样出现大量的卖单推的，现在正好有跳空，然后呢，在供应结果出现了这么一个股价迅速下跌的情况下，那我们看，那么需求有多大呢？需求我们就看这些反弹波段，这个反弹波段就看这些，如果这是一个最好的反弹波段，它的反弹的力度，也就是说它的幅度只把股价推到了这个下跌的幅度的1/2的话，那么其他的反弹波段呢，也就是比它更次了。也就换句话说，这里的需求更弱，这就是我们当时判断为什么股价会继续下跌的原因。
So we see that the structure is extremely weak, especially in this area. We also have seen that institutions have been selling on the way up and then on the way down. They have occasional selling then throughout the structure. And all of this was the confirmed bias to the downside suggested to us that this is a reaccumulation. So we were anticipating that the price is going to go down by breaking down the support, and it did happen. Now, the biggest question is, where are we now, and where the price could potentially find some level of the support?
我们大家看到了这个整个结构来说，这一段的结构来说，罗蒙老师画出来它是非常非常弱，而且呢，我们也看到前一段在拉升的时候，在快速下跌的时候，机构都在派发，也就是这里弱，这里派发，而且在某一些时候，机构又在跳空点进行派发。那我们说，这个目前来讲呢，这个方向是向下的方向，也就是我们把这个区域整个定性为再次派发区间。那么派发方向已经定了，现在大家要问的问题是，那么这个股价会跌到什么地方呢
？One of the levels of the support we could find on this downsloping line, and we kind of in this area for the daily chart, and there is some institutional activity that we see here. They're coming in, and either they are buying something because we see some kind of demand tail here, so demand is coming in, but still there is some supply that is left here. So we could potentially actually revisit even a lower area, but here we could expect the price to develop in either direction. One of the indications of where we are very visible on the long-term weekly chart. So we are at the area of the original climactic action. We should experience some kind of stop in action, at least a temporary stop in action. But we also have a much lower target that would suggest that either we're going to have some kind of trading range, or we're going to go up, or we could potentially consolidate and then retest the lower area. And these are the three scenarios that we would be looking in.
我们在讨论下跌的价位的时候，我们知道只有在下方找到支撑点的时候，这个价位才会止跌。那么看这个支撑点会在哪呢？首先来说，我们在这个短线这两个点的时候，可以画一个趋势线。这个趋势线呢，到今天这个价位的这个点，在前4天的时候，我们大家看到这个快速下跌的时候有个长尾线，这个长尾线呢代表一定的需求，也就是某一些人已经开始认为这个 有价值了，这个价位已经够低了，所以说他们进来然后买完以后呢，这个价格却继续下跌，所以说在这条线的时候，这个成交量这么高的时候，我们看到有一定的需求，有一些人在购买，而且这个位置这个价位也刚好就在这个价格的趋势线这个底这个上缘这个边缘，也就是说从周线图上来讲，我们也看这周也就目前我们的价位来说，我们说这个点有可能形成一个支撑，也就是价格有可能会稍稍反弹一点，也有可能会向下探一点。为什么呢？因为下面还有下跌的空间。我们看到周线图来说，目前的价位正好相对应是过去的价位，15年的时候这个价位初次下跌的那个抛售高潮这个点，这个抛售高的点这和对应。但是我们同时也可以看到，当时的时候15年16年的时候，这里产生了一个底比底低，也就是说更低的低点，也就是目前来讲我们的价位有可能会向上反弹一点，有可能会拉出一个斜形横行的这个交易区间，有可能在这个交易区间的时候也会猛然间再次测试这个底部的价位，也就是这个价位。
All right. Well, that's it for today. Again, thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you to Jacobin for translation. And hopefully we'll talk to you next week. Thank you again for sending your emails. And goodbye.
好，今天就谈到这里。非常感谢大家观看我们的视频，也感谢我的学生赵国本做翻译。非常感谢大家。我们下周再见。